Passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with
What's going on, guys? This is Totally Blitzed podcast, a show about shots, smoke, and of course football. We're your hosts. I'm Paul. Pick 'em, win 'em, contra the man with the big beard, making even bigger bets, and I'm always joined by.
You already know, man. It's your boy Kev Waterboy, my boy. The Don PYE out here running shit with no risk. You a bitch. But you already know how we come. We stay in crisps. And hey, don't think because it's wrapped up, you still can't catch a fist. You feel me? Know what I'm saying?
Bars roll.
Know what I'm saying? I'm over here in the village, hidden in the mist. and we over here, man. You know what I'm saying? And we over here talking about the divisional round, and boy, I'm not gonna lie to you, kid. I've seen I've seen a lot of football, but there's been a lot of people that have seen a lot more football than me. But that's the best football I've ever seen. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, but the fuck, man.
That's I don't know. I'm not even gonna attempt to go check all the divisional rounds and be like, is any of this shit ever? That's the best football I've ever seen.
And you get a little bit of everything. You get the shootouts, and you get the defensive comebacks. You get fucking all defense all day, all game. It was a little bit of everything.
I don't even know what to start. So I don't know what game to start off with first, but I do want to. If I were to say, if I had a comment on every game, bro, what the fuck? Fuck you, Ryan Tannehill. That's my first one. Fuck Ryan Tannehill. God damn. Special teams? That's Packers versus 49ers. If y'all motherfuckers don't hold on to this damn ball, oh shit, who left Cooper Kupp open? 1-on-1. You already know who that is. Rams, Bucs. I don't know how them boys came back like that. Hey, this might be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna look at my kid being born for the first time and be like, you ain't Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes. You cool and all this. You're not Josh Allen versus Pat Mahomes. You bum. Like, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, not football. Genuinely the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, that's it. That's all I can say. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, sorry, everything else. But that game was better than that. Better than you. I promise.
Arguably already being talked about as best game mentions. I already said earlier before the show, this is gonna be, if you have NFL Network, this is gonna be one of those games, since it's gonna be the all-time classic. It's gonna be on for years to come because how good it was. But before we jump into the games, there's 8 teams that walked up. There's 4 teams that walked off as ghosts. So we're gonna talk about the 4 fallen members, and I'm gonna take my 4 shots as I salute them. First one to go, 1 seed Titans. They kicked the bucket. Salute. Next. Oh, by the way, I'm drinking on a low Captain Morgan. I told myself I never would again, but here I am.
Again.
Another number 1 seed. Fun fact: this is only the 4th time since they expanded to the 32 teams, 8-team divisions, or 8 divisional playoffs. How they set it up now. This is only the 4th time or 5th time ever that neither first seeds making it to the Lombardi Trophy. So not as common as people think sometimes. Like, I thought it was gonna be a lot more. Next one, Buccaneers won't have a repeat. And finally, Bills Mafia. You're in the division, so fuck you, but you're fans. It was fun riding with you. Ooh.
I respect it. Hey, this is some bullshit. I gotta open my fucking water bottle with my mouth and shit because my wrist is there's just no possible way to do this shit. This is bullshit. I feel like a dog. I feel like a Wolverine. Whew. Hey, but shout out to them teams that gone fishing, man. Make sure y'all stay hydrated in the off season, man. It's hot out there. Well, it's cold right now, but it's gonna be hot soon.
That's true. Well, man, let's jump right into it. I mean, we can kick off with the biggest game of the year. It's like the hottest topic. It's everyone's talking about it, so we might as well kick it off with that. Man, fuck. 25 points scored in the last 2 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
that's just absolutely insane. This is the best playoff game that I've ever seen. And like Manning versus Flacco in Denver with the Flacco fling, like better than that. And that was probably holding the spot for me for a while. But man, 13 seconds. You cannot let Kelsey and Hill catch those two passes.
Nah, that shit is crazy, man. I just think the game all around from the jump was just a heater. Them boys were just back and forth, and it was about who had more bullets in the chamber. Them boys are both machine guns. They can just rapid fire kill you, bring you back to life, and kill you again. But like, it was a chess game. I like the chess game that the coaches played. They went back and forth. You seen they was playing stupid zone in the beginning, but Patrick Mahomes was getting off with his feet, so they had to switch to man. And now Andy Reid is setting up the man beater, something he's been doing amazing ever since. This been his whole career. Like, this was a chess game back to back. The quarterbacks duking it out, dueling. Gabriel Davis over here doing up DBs. Is tough. Like, you don't want to put no hands. You don't want to put no hands on him because you feel like you're not gonna stop. If you jam up at the line, he's gonna do you dirty down low. You're gonna have to get some double. It was bad. Gabriel Davis, 4 touchdowns. Oh my God. Travis Kelsey, you can't guard him. Man, he plays receiver as if he's playing post with his back to the basket. I feel like this man literally just bodies everybody. First of all, I don't care who the fuck you are. Like, you're just not in your fucking requirements to be big enough to fucking be able to body a motherfucker like that and fast enough to stay in cover, fast and open food. It's just humans don't work like that. You feel me? Like, he's a freak of fucking nature. Like, that's what that's Viking DNA right there. Genuine Viking DNA, Norse God DNA. Like, Tyreek Hill, game changer. The way he caught that bitch and turned that bitch all the way to fuck up. 65, 70 yards.
I believe
Turn that bitch all the way up. Turn that bitch all the way up on these. I can't even say it. Man, this game was a heater. Everybody played their fucking part. Defense, and it looks like the defense didn't show up, but the defense did what they can fucking do. But like, these are just two offenses that just don't believe in getting stopped. These are two offenses that have nothing but firepower. And these are two offenses that if there's a will, there's a way, and they're gonna get all the way down there. I think it was actually funny because there was some good officiating in this game. I was actually shocked because like the officials could have fucked this game up, but nah, they just let that bitch ride, let that bitch play. Like, they could have fucked. Because think about it, there are 25 points scored in the last 2 minutes, so that means there weren't that many, and that means there wasn't like crazy replays and crazy stoppages. So like, no, you didn't hear no fucking up or nothing like that. But what do you got?
Yeah, no, the refs did a good job staying out of the game and letting the boys play. Don't make it about you. Make it about the game, because everyone was talking about the Tyreek Hill peace sign at the end. And if they were calling it the way they've been calling it earlier in the season when the flags were flying and it was more about the ref show, that would have been the fucking like that ending would have been like that would have been some shit right there. That would have been the refs being the refs. So I am happy that they didn't get involved as much as they could have, or probably even would have or wanted to. But I'm happy they just took the sideline, let them boy. And maybe they were watching it. It's like, holy fuck, let's just watch this game, guys. Let's just watch it.
They had to have been enjoying that shit. Like, fuck, oh shit, like the umps over shit. Like, oh shit, I gotta get the ball. Like,
yeah, they're like, oh shit, oh yeah, I got a job to do, guys.
Oh shit. Like, they over here just watching the receivers like, this is a work of art. Like, they looking at Gabriel Davis. I bet you they looked at the Gabriel Davis trial like, oh shit.
But he like, burnt that motherfucker.
He dropped his ass. Damn. Oh shit. Oh boy, hold on. Oh yeah. And then they put his arms up like, oh yeah, touchdown.
Yeah, no, there's so many plays in this game that you like the 4th and 12 that Josh Allen threw another touchdown to Gabriel Davis to tie it up or take the lead. I can't remember. And then the 60-yard fling where he put it on a dime. but he just flicked it. He just took it. He did not. Usually people throw 60 yards. Mahomes and Josh Allen are probably the only two that do not have to put their whole body into it. They just took a nice little step and fling it. And it was another Gabriel Davis. It's sad that they lost because I feel like 5 years from now, no one's gonna remember Gabriel unless Gabriel Davis carves out a spot for him in the NFL after this performance. This is gonna be another forgotten performance because your team ain't win. Because that 201 4 touchdowns, man, that's crazy. I've never seen that wide receiver performance. I know it's a duo, but that's crazy.
Nah, that shit is insane because they had to they gonna double, they gonna put their clamps on Stephon Diggs. Then Josh Allen said, I like these one-on-one matchups all day. But the thing about it is, it's not about the remembrance, it's about the timing. Contract year. Can we say contract year? Contract year.
He's still young.
That's how you ended that shit in the contract year. Oh, you finna get a bag. They gotta pay you a bag now. And if they don't pay you a bag, you can go be number one somewhere.
That's true. And hey, speaking of a bag, shout out to the Chiefs front office because last year they lost to the Bucs badly. Their O-line was injured, banged up, and they spent money. They spent $85 million to go get Joe Thuney, who is a Pro Bowl caliber player. He plays every position at the line, which is that's insane to be able to go from left tackle to guard to he's that Iron Man mentality. He didn't get Pro Bowl this year, but he's still everyone knows he's a Pro Bowl caliber player. Then you got Orlando Brown, left tackle, who's already a Pro Bowler. You drafted Creed Humphrey, a center, in the 3rd round, who first year is the number 1 ranked center on PFF. That's just insane. Yeah, they got the best center in the league. He hasn't let up no pressures. He actually has the highest run block for a center, so he's mauling people. You draft Trey, I can't remember, it's Trey Henderson or something like that, and he's an all-rookie right guard. So, they went out and drafted and bought players, brought them over, and they got depth, which is what everyone cares about, the line position. So, I'm not going to say their line did a great job, but they didn't, Joe Mahomes, the Bills kept getting there. They would get right there, and then Mahomes was so shifty, he'll get out of the pocket, he'll move up in the pocket, because there were so near misses where those were sacks, those are good defensive plays, but Mahomes being Mahomes, those 70 yards, 60 yards he got, all of them usually came from the D-line collapsing, and then him just I gotta get out of here, and then he would just break away for 20 yards, and shout out to him and Josh Allen, first ever playoff where both quarterbacks went for 300 yards, 50 rushing touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, or 50 rushing yards, 300 passing yards. That dual threat.
I can't even consider this, I'm looking at this shit right now. I can't even consider this a football game. This was 2 generals. If I say that the Steelers and the Colts are companies, they're Fortune 500 companies, the Bills and the Chiefs are regimes. These are genuine regimes. These are generals. These are 2 generals at work. They got a colonel that's over there calling. They got master colonels calling the plays. They've studied the art of war. These are 2 generals at war right now with their soldiers. They were going in. They put their bodies on the line from start to finish. They put their heads down. They took it. They didn't give up seconds. They never lost composure. These were 2 generals at work right now. That AFC is going to be mean for a minute. You don't want to go to the AFC.
And Josh Allen, speaking of general, he was getting his hands dirty. He was running the ball, taking big hits, bouncing off players, jumping over players. Usually talk about wear and tear for a running back, but you know how good to watch your quarterback go run somebody over and then get hit hard himself and then get back up and that's some general shit. That's some I'm rallying my troops to victory. That I don't that was some real shit. Josh Allen, the tough motherfucker, because there's not many quarterbacks that are gonna take hits from linebackers 10 times a game purposely. Not just a sack. You can get your sacks, but I'm gonna purposely run my body into you and go shoulder to shoulder, try to get this first down.
This is funny. It's funny. He says that he didn't start. Oh my gosh, I just seen the pump block. That shit was terrible. But he said that he wasn't athletic in high school. He couldn't run as fast. He wasn't really taking hits like that. He says the more he's matured and his game's evolved, the more athletic he's become. And it's funny because like they be telling him like, "Yo, bro, just slide, like just slide, bro. We can't deal with no Josh Allen, like especially how much they're paying, bro. Damn, that third, damn, this was a great ass round. All these plays were amazing, but they was telling him slide. He said first and second down, he'll go for a slide, but third and fourth, he putting his head down to get that first. He don't give a fuck.
I respect it. But yeah, no, that was insane game, great game, one of the all-time classic. And I don't think there's any. I don't really have anyone else to say. I'm like of course you can always zone in on certain things and kill plays. Like, oh, you didn't do this on this play, that's why you lost. But like they both played their best game, and like the Chiefs are moving on. But I can't wait to see because this is AFC Championship, AFC Divisional round. Potentially for the next 10 years if they stay healthy and these teams and organizations continue to evolve. And hopefully the Bills are back here next year to make exciting football. But Brian DeBall, the offensive coordinator, it's looking like he's either coming back to Miami, help to be our head coach, or he might be at the New York Giants head coach. Those are the two landing spots they have him. And like he has strings with Miami. He was Tua's offensive coordinator back in Alabama. He was our defensive coordinator back in like 02 or 01. So hopefully he comes here because if anyone can develop a young quarterback and turn him into a superstar, I want that guy.
Yeah, I think he's been waiting for the opportunity too. Like I feel like he's turned down a lot of interviews because the Falcons were looking for. I feel like the Falcons attempted to get at him when we was looking for a coach and stuff like that. And then I don't think I heard about him doing any interviews or anything like that. Like, I feel like he's waiting. Yeah, I feel like he's been waiting for a really good opportunity, and I think Miami's probably one of his best bets, especially since it's the young core. He can get them boys fired up. He can because the young. I feel like with a young core, you can do the RPOs and you can get shiftier, like but better than with a veteran quarterback. Like the Steelers couldn't do no shit like that with Big Ben, big ass. Even though they probably do have a little couple RPOs and stuff, they can't get shifty and like they're okay with that. They settled for the quarterback that they had for they kept it moving. Like so like with a young talent like that, that'd be good. My last thing about this, man, this shit was a thriller. And like I'm gonna do that a lot this episode. So that's why I had to do the small one, a quick one. But like this game was a good gamble because like I wanted to pick the Bills so bad. And like I was watching this game and I literally gave no fucks about the pick anymore. I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on right now? What am I watching? Like this game was definitely a good gamble. Like and it came out great. This was a really good one. That was an AFC championship to me in my opinion.
Yeah, no. One thing I heard from another podcast I was listening to, they're saying that this round was so good. Like they're not hoping for the worst, but they're saying this round was so good. Next round's gonna have a hard time to topping it. Like how are you gonna top what just went down this week? Like, what if next week is like a 30-33-21 Bengals Chiefs game? Like that's not the same as what we just witnessed. You know, like I was like, that's a good point. Like this would have been if this was like championship weekend type mentality, like this is gonna be crazy. But hey, if that happens, that just means the Super Bowl's set up for an even bigger thing. Next game on the list, let's see. We can jump right into we'll just go to the other Sunday game. This game, shit, they were saying this was the best game until the Bucs and until the Bills and Chiefs went head to head. But the Bucs versus Rams. Rams pulled out last second field goal, walk-off win in Tampa Bay. We were both on it. We both felt good. Matthew Stafford showing out. How'd you feel?
This game was funny because I was thinking about switching my pick to the Bucs just to make things interesting because of how my lock went out like that. How both my locks went out. I was like, fuck it, let's just switch it to the Bucs and let's make this shit interesting. But I was like, nah, I made a pick and I'm gonna stick with my pick. You know what I'm saying? I respect my gut. But this game was a heater. First off, Cooper Kupp. See, I knew he had the Triple Crown, but I didn't know he was the yak leader. I thought Deebo Samuel was the yak leader. Nah, my dog Cooper Cup was
No.
the yak. I was like, oh, so like that kills me because my brother called me. He was like, yo, Cooper Cup's never played against an all pro receiver, all pro corner, motherfucking. He's never played against an all pro corner, and I was like, you want to know why? Because he practices with one. Like motherfucking Cooper Cup is a fucking truth. Like I didn't want to. I felt like he was making good points and solid arguments, but like, nah, kid, the shit that he's done, and like when you compare his season to Calvin Johnson's seasons, like he had a lot more fucking touchdowns. And like these are defenses that are shiftier. These defensive are a lot more athletic, and they're all around. They're more like all around good. But like, nah, Cooper Cup is the truth, man. This game was like a real like, yo, like I'm that nigga. Like I don't care if you white. That boy said I'm that nigga this week.
Yeah, the biggest difference between defense now and then, other than like rules, defense nowadays is a lot faster. Like everyone's running a 4-4. Your fucking D line's running in the fours. Like
That's just insane.
no, but one thing though, everyone wants to come at the like again, like the same with the Bills and Chiefs. I felt like both of these games were really good, but like everyone wants to highlight the last play. Like, oh, he got you go in with an all-out blitz. Yeah, you got burnt. It looked real bad. What are you doing one-on-one? But like the score was 17-3 in the second quarter. Brady was 3 of 10. His only completions was on that field goal drive. He was started out the game 0-4. Like the first two plays, Lenny gets 20 yards. The run game is working.
Yeah.
And then you immediately go straight to throwing the ball. And he's 3 for 10. You're down 17-3. Now the run game is kind of out of it, not really, but 17-3. Von Miller, Aaron Donald's making that boy life a living hell. Like Von Miller and like that boy got a taunting call because he was mad about the head-to-head. And like I think he honestly got that taunting call because he kind of came out and said, yeah, I don't get taunting calls because I get away with it.
Don't say it like that. You ain't saying with basis.
No, but the refs are just kind of like sitting there, just like the refs are just sitting there like, you know what, he is kind of right. Like we haven't really called anything in him in a long time. We just throw one here, just make it even, like all those other ones I did. Like it was like I don't know. It's just like you highlighted it before the game, and now like it happened. Like I don't. It could have been a coincidence. I don't think so, really. But like,
definitely was like, damn, hold on, I can't. I'm not gonna be one to not call him.
Yeah, but like 3 for 10, and this is going into the half. It's second quarter, 17-3, and I just think like you want to put the blame on the defense, but like, hey, bro, if it wasn't for the defense forcing those 4 fumbles to even get this game back into like this game, like if you could, there's so many different like football's 60 minutes. You can put the blame on Brady's shitty first half. You can put the blame on the last throw to set up the field goal. You can put the blame on the like, but like at the same time, like there's a whole 60 minutes. Like those what ifs don't happen. Like like you just played 60 minutes. The better team won. Like you got burned at the end. You played shitty in the beginning. Like you played really well in the middle, but like the Rams just in the last second they just made a better play to win. I don't like picking one play as to why you lost. Like I think this Rams team is rallying. This defense is legit. Like they're playing their best football, similar to how the Bucs went on their rally last year. Like he's the Von Miller and Aaron Donald are first and third in QB pressures this postseason right now. So like they're getting to the quarterback without even needing the blitz. Like so that's why they're a legitimate threat. Like Cam Akers 2 fumbles, yeah, he fucks up, but I don't think he's in the doghouse. Like he's legit. It's just football.
I think this game was just great. I think that defense played amazing, even though because like they made 2 bad plays, but like those are kind of like they probably made like 8 bad plays the entire game, like maybe like 8 bad plays all game, and like less than 10 bad plays all game, and like they just played against a team that can capitalize. Like it was 3rd and 20, and Matthew Stafford throws that bitch up to Cooper Kupp because I'm taking Cooper Kupp and Carlton Davis one-on-one all fucking day.
Any day.
I'll take that bitch. I'll take that bitch on a Sunday with some
any
Chick-fil-A.
year.
I'll take that bitch on a Sunday with some Chick-fil-A. Like motherfucking, I'm taking that bitch whenever. Motherfucking. That shit, them boys, that game was just great. They played well the entire game, and I hate the Bucs, but like I got a newfound respect for the Bucs after watching how they played that game because, like you said, a lot of those fumbles didn't just happen out of nowhere. Maybe the Cooper Kupp fumble, that shit did look a little crazy, and that snap that might have been a little crazy, but like that's crowd noise right there for the snap. That's crowd noise. Both those Cam Akers fumbles were forced. Like that first one that won by the goal line was close, but like, hey, he ripped that bitch out before his head touched the floor.
Got
And then
cameras.
that second one, hey, give me that. Cookies, give me that. So like that defense didn't just get breaks. Like Kyle said it best in the live recap Sunday night. He was like, "Yo, that was one of those games that we just kept saying, if only our defense got to stop. If our defense could get a turnover, they could get a turnover, and they was getting them bitches like all day. And these are all second half turnovers. So like, you can blame it on those last plays. I think the calls were a little bit, but it goes back down to like this was the Bucs. This was probably the Bucs' defense's first time since like week 1 playing all together. So like they called the blitz. They wanted to pressure him. They wanted to do that, and like you could have played that better, but like it is what it is. Like the Bills lost for playing conservative. Like you made the point earlier. Like the Bills lost playing conservative defense. The Bucs lost playing aggressive defense. At the end of the day, good offense can't be stopped. Was what we're hearing. Like good offense is beating good defense right now. It wasn't like that for a while. Like Peyton Manning got his ass whooped by the Legion of Boom. Like in the Super Bowl. Like good offense wasn't beating good defense, but the narratives changed, and like that's what this showed. Shout out Brady for that comeback. It was 27-3, and I was watching this shit like, yo, I think I've seen this before. Like, motherfucking
27-3, bro, at one point.
And I shout out Mike Evans because like he did some baller ass shit. Like he looked at them boys and said before Brady had threw it up to him and Ramsey, he looked at Brady and said, "Yo, bro, I don't know why we don't just throw it up and make a play." So hey, let's go. Let's figure out how to score in 3 plays. Fuck it. Let me throw a go route to my number one receiver with the number one with the goat versus the number one all pro corner, and we know he's number one by far because he's the only last year he was the only one people fought for, only one person following people. So like, and they took it and they got it. That's how you make a play. That's some boss ass shit. Like I hate the Bucs to this day. Like I still hate the boys, but like I gained a lot of newfound respect because they played that game as dirty as you can play it. And you know how I like getting dirty.
Yeah, no, like if it wasn't for the Chiefs and Bills to go on right afterwards, prime time, and just go do what they did, this game would have been up there too. Like the fact that it was 27-3 in like the third quarter, and the game is kind of like at this point it's kind of out of reach, and then all of a sudden it's tied up with 30 seconds left, and then they go and throw the Hail Mary, the Cooper Cup triple crown winner. Like it's like some people are saying like Vince McMahon couldn't write a better script than what happened this weekend.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, you said that? Yeah, like you're not the only one. Like you said it first. I will give you that. But like I started seeing tweets, people saying that like WWE can't write a better script, and I was like, this is true. Like the like if the Chiefs and Bills never happened, this would have been the game that like everyone's talking about because of this how insane. Like it just happened. They both happened on the same week. Like this was another all-time all same day. Like another all-time classic in the playoffs. Like you can't write like this is win or go home. This isn't week 14 and hey, we'll still get them in the postseason. Like no, like this was great. One thing I do want to note though is like the Buccaneers, Lenny in the run game was working against the Rams. Playoff Lenny was working against the Rams, and I'm not showing my cards. I just want to, like, I don't know if you thought about this, but like Elijah Mitchell and this 49ers, that's a running team. Like the Rams are really good against a good quarterback and they're stopping good quarterbacks. They haven't looked too great. I know like there's a whole bunch of nerdy stats out there that will show why they're weak against the run, but like just on the eye test, watching them, Leonard Fournette was working. He just didn't get too many touches throughout the game because of the game script. But hey, that's a setting up for another like San Francisco versus LA next week. Like in LA. Like you can't write better fucking script than that right there.
And winner goes to the Super Bowl in LA.
In LA. And these coaches are both from the Washington football team. They both like the Shanahan, McPherson, McFay. Like they have connect. Like it's so fun. Like this is NFL, baby. Next game on the list, I'm gonna save your least favorite for last. We have the Bengals at Titans.
I'm watching highlights right now.
Joey being them boys getting it done. I'm gonna let you go first, and I'm gonna hop into. I'm gonna see. I want to see how you defend this Titans loss.
How I defend the Titans loss?
Well, you don't defend it. I know it's not like, but just like we're both on opposite sides. Just.
It's like, I think. Well, obviously you have to put it. Yeah, it's a football, the team game, but like it was on Terrible Hill. Like that's his new name, Terrible Hill. Like his QBR, I want to say it was like a 66.8. It could have been lower. Like I could be getting it mixed up with somebody else, and it might have been.
See, I might be able to pull it up, but
yeah, pull it up.
I'll pull it up as you talk.
His first throw was a pick. His last throw was a pick. So like you can come at the play calling. I think the offense was just slow. You can't say that about AJ Brown. Can't say that about Julio Jones. Derrick Henry.
No, I knew it was QBR. I didn't want to say it because you said 60 something, and I was like, I thought it was the number is 10.4. Yeah, I was like, that's the number I've been seeing, but our numbers were so off. I didn't want to be like looking like an egg on my head. But yeah,
10.4 QBR. So I'm not defending them boys, but like they played a great game. That defense played outstanding. You get 9 sacks, and like that interception was as not only as athletic, but it was theatrical. Like he genuinely had this, because if he had just picked it and then he had just grabbed it and like it touched the floor like that, and he just grabbed it and like held it up and then it touched the floor and they ran it, they probably wouldn't have called that a pick. But because he picked it, he stopped to let it touch the floor, and then he went on his back. So it's like, oh, yo, I'm diving, bro. Like because if he did it straight up, they would have been like, oh, you had to get under you. But like, nah, I'm diving. So not only did he dive, he got up and got yards. Like that was genuine. Like that was just genuine. The greatest mechanics I've ever seen, greatest reflexes, and just genuine athleticism. So that was good. Like the defense played amazing. Like, but for Derrick Henry, he was slower. He got 62 yards, but that's what you want. You could get mad. I believe they should have used Deonta Foreman a lot more. I was expecting a 35, because I thought they were gonna run the ball. They was gonna run the damn ball. They were gonna get 30 to 35 carries, and it was gonna be split. If not, Foreman would have had more. But I like the directional. I like the straight up directional snap with Derrick Henry. Let him get in the end zone, but that Bengals defense was stopping that boy on 4th and 1 and stuff like that. And I didn't like the play calling all the way. Like I felt like they were playing like they were down by a lot, even though their defense is literally getting sacks on 3rd down like it's nothing. And motherfucking they're getting stops and they're getting great field possession, but they're playing like they were down by 20. Like I didn't like the play calling on a 3rd and 1 because you did the misdirection with Ryan Tannehill, like the quarterback. I didn't like it, and then everybody knows where you're going with it. So I just didn't like the play calling all the way. I believe they could have kicked the field goal. They shouldn't have been missed. They shouldn't have went for the 2-point conversion to begin with the first touchdown. So the play call, you can feel like they left a lot of points up on the board. He threw a pick on the 5-yard line, 6-yard line, like
in the red zone.
Yeah, I didn't like the play calling a lot, but like at the end of the day, it's football, baby. It's the playoff. Evan McPherson, shout out that boy out of Florida. I'm pretty sure I've seen that boy before. Like I looked at him and I was just like, motherfucking, like, shout out the boy out of Florida, man. And Evan McPherson is the truth, man. The Joey B and the boys, they stay calm. I found out what Joe Beasy means, but I'm gonna let you talk on the Bengals.
Not just the Bengals. I want to alliterate like what you're saying too, like co-sign on it. Like, I'm not saying the play calling was bad per se, but there were certain things like you said, like everyone wants to come on Tannehill for that last pick, and I agree that Terrible Hill, yeah, his last pick. You don't force it into that cover. It's not like you're forcing it to AJ Brown or Julio. You're forced it to, I think, Westbrook Ikeni. Like, he's not that good. Like, I won't say he's not that good. He's an NFL, but he's just like the 3rd force to play. You don't force it into his possession. You force it more to one of the stars. So that is all on him. The first pick is on him. But that second pick in the red zone from Mike Hilton, I I won't blame the play calling, but like Tannehill was just doing the play. It was a wide receiver screen, sort of like this off to the wide receiver. So like he hiked it, the RPO, and then went to throw it. And like at that point, like Hilton just made an athletic ass play, popped the ball up and caught it. Well, what did you see on that play?
Hey, super quick, just that play. I'm gonna let you keep going on your take, but it goes either order because I was an athletic ass play. I was genuine. Both those picks in this game were great, just genuine, great athleticism. Because like, but at the end of the day, like he read the fuck out that shit. Like he didn't step a step to the receiver. He just went. He immediately read that play. So like something could have got checked. Like I'm just saying, but like keep doing what you're doing.
You know, the only reason why I say is because it's also like these are split second decisions where he has to decide if I hand it off or not. And then I feel like the moment you decide not to hand it off, it's just like 100%. I gotta throw it to the receiver. So then at that moment, like because it's only like you have 0.5 seconds to think about what you're doing as you're faking the hand. Like it's all as you read the defense. He made a bad read. I'll give it that. You probably should have handed it off instead. But the other thing was that 4th and 1. Yeah, you got stopped with Derrick Henry. And like that's the King Henry, he got stopped. I said it beforehand. This is the number 5 rush defense going up against the number 2 rush defense because Joe Mixon ain't doing. Yeah, he scored a touchdown like Derrick Henry, but both of them, one had like 60 yards on 20 carries, the other one had 17 carries for like 52 yards. So neither one really outperformed each other, really balled out or anything. Foreman had that one nice carry, and I agree with you. I think Foreman should have got more of the carries just because like Henry's first game back, he's not doing too well. Foreman has that big carry in the second quarter, I think.
And he's been balling.
Yeah, he's been doing. And if you don't know, he's from Texas, and he has the highest, like in 20, he has like the 5th highest yards per game average. And when he put up like 2,000 yards at Texas in 2016, like so he's not no joke. Like he was a 2nd round pick or 3rd round pick. Like he was a good running back. So, but that 4th and 1, that 3rd and 2, where you fake it with Derrick Henry. To Titans' credit, that play has worked like 95% of the time all season. Like that whole fake it to Henry or fake it to the running back and Tannehill takes it for a yard or two. That's something like that's like their QB sneak. Like it's worked so well all season. The Bengals just read the fuck out of it and just blew it up. And that's why I give them the credit. But that rush defense, like I coming into it, my whole take on why they're gonna win was like the run game is not gonna work for either, and they really didn't work for either. Derrick Henry didn't do too well, or Joe Mixon. And it's gonna be Burrow versus Tannehill, and then Mike Vrabel himself would tell you himself, Burrow is better than Tannehill. Like if I'm leaning on just like the pure quarter, because like a quarterback that gets sacked 9 times should not win a football game. The reason why he wins the game is because the other quarterback, because there's no run game this whole game. Like the defense has stopped the run completely, and like Burrow came up big in needed those 30 yards to get the field goal. Tannehill needed 40, 50 yards to get a field goal, and what did he do? He forced it, and like that's where like yeah, you can come at the last pick, but throughout the whole game, that 4th and 1, maybe you should have kicked the field goal, get the points, and then you're not worried. Like you said, their defense has been balling. Like your defense hasn't been shitty all game. You're not worried against this team. Like it's not the Chiefs, it's not the Bills. They're not putting up 35 points per game. Your defense has 9 sacks already. Get the field goal, play good defense, win the game. And Mike Vrabel, he should know that real well coming from the Patriots teams. So that was just the big shocker to me. Like, but that's playoffs. Everything's hindsight 2020. It probably was the right decision in the moment. So shout out both these teams. Burrow's they made it. They made it all the way to here, bro.
I think a big thing about it was there wasn't big adjustments. Like I feel like the Titans didn't really they kind of just stuck to what they knew, and that was their bread and butter. And like it's just, and they kind of just started off the game a little sluggish. Like AJ Brown performed well. He had spectacular catches. That touchdown to him, Ryan Tannehill had to put that bitch in the pocket. He put it right there. And he got that. But they didn't adjust well. You can tell, like you said, that play worked 95% of the time. But like even at home, you're watching that shit, looking at that bitch like, what? Why didn't you do the opposite? Why didn't you go with Derrick Henry, then do that? But like, why didn't you play like what? That's how we coming. And then so you respect it, but like I think the the craziest thing about it was that you're not supposed to win if you get sacked 9 times. Like that's just like on paper, that just doesn't make sense. That's probably the
Playoff record.
Yeah, I was about to say,
playoff record.
I was about to say, I don't know the record, but I bet you it was like right there. And like they're getting sacked with 4-man rushes, and it's not as if they're like not getting great. It's not as if they're like holding Joey B's holding the ball too long, which you can make that argument. But it's like that's what probably the families of the old linemen are going to make that argument. Like nobody else is going to say that because we understand how explosive this team is. We understand that he can just throw that bitch up and get that out of there. This defense, their 4D linemen, they were getting back there, going crazy, creating pressure every down. So like I respect it, and I just loved how the cool, because that's what I found out Beezy mean. I call him Joe Beezy, but I never knew what Beezy meant. Beezy means cool, calm, and collected, because that's what they stayed the entire game. And you can see like they did what they did, and they continue to get to their weapons and their threats. Like Jamar Chase is a threat at all times in the game. When he got that catch for like 50 yards, first of all, that was a great play by the safety to get that stop like he did and get both to drop, because he had to not only get the defender out of his way to get to Jamar Chase, but he had to stop Jamar Chase at the same time. So the angle that he went for that tackle, making the safety, making the blocker fall, and then Jamar Chase have to hurdle so that way the trailing defender could tackle him. That shit was amazing. That shit was just smart. That shit was just smart football. But it was when Jamar Chase did that shit. He's talking to Kyle Fulton. I found out that they played high school and college together. So like he's in this he in bruh face like talking that shit. And I like that shit. He was talking that shit. Kyle Fulton tried to talk me back like, bro, play another down. Like, nah, bro, you know what was up. And like you go to him there, and at the end of the game, who they go to get into field goal range? Jamar Chase goes out of bounds. Like, catching that bitch right there, goes out of bounds like a veteran. he a rookie, but he been a veteran. Like these are facts. So like the fact that they can just stay calm, cool, collected. Joe Burrow can see that he hasn't thrown a single passing touchdown and not be like fuck. And like you said, man, Evan McPherson can sit there and be like, can kick that practice kick and be like, damn, I guess we're going to the AFC Championship and put that out there. Their team is just something special. Like their locker room probably is amazing. Like them boys is just calm, collected. Them boys just know how to just keep it pushing and never give up. Like that team is gonna be scary for a while. They're just one O-line away from being contenders. And this next game is gonna really show us like how far they are without the O-line.
Yeah. One thing though, AJ Brown, he got like 160 yards or something like that. Like it was a lot of like chunk plays. It was like 4 or 5 catches, I believe. Or like 4 catches for 130 yards out of the 150.
Hell yeah.
And to me though, that it was great for like because every play was big, but that was all the Titans offense. Like same with Devontae Foreman's 50-yard run. Like their offense was very like stalled, and then like fucking a gigantic play from one of these players, and then like they would move down the field. But yeah, not saying that he had a bad game or anything, but that's just like similar to the Cowboys. Sometimes it will be like nothing, and then sometimes it'll be bam, highlight play. But yeah, no, the Bengals, they're young and talented, and they got the swag. So if there's anyone, like if the one way to beat the Chiefs is just not be afraid of them. And this is a team that doesn't seem like, same with the Bills. Maybe they lose like the Bills did last year in the AFC Championship. They might be a year too young, but at the same time, they're not scared to go smack them in the mouth.
Fucking facts.
But our last game, I was with you on the Packers, man. I really thought they were winning this, man. We got fucking burned. We got fucking killed. The Achilles heel. I actually went through the vault and I found a clip of when I was talking about the special teams earlier this season. So I'm also gonna have that like edited up too. But man, that special teams fucking block punt touchdown, a blocked field goal before half that kills momentum. My only thing that I want to say though, like, yeah, it's all on like I want to put 95% of all blame on special teams for being shitty all season. Mason Crosby's been fucking missing field goals left and right all season, all that shit. But 10 points is not beating any of these teams that played this weekend. Like, you have the MVP, you have Devontae Adams. So like, yeah, you lost because of special teams this game, but like if Aaron Rodgers had 54 yards in his first drive. That was all scripted plays. They scored a touchdown and they looked like they were going to fucking roll because they came out nice. And then that was all their offense for basically the whole game. That was, I didn't think like that was going to be the last touchdown of the game. 170 yards for the rest of the game for Aaron Rodgers after the first drive. And then like that last fucking hail, like he threw up that last ball to Devontae Adams on 3rd and 20. I know you had to force it because like your offensive lines, they like same with the Cowboys, they're getting false starts on the offensive line all game. David Bakhtiari not being back definitely didn't help them because the 49ers defense was playing phenomenal. But like, man, like you like all the blame's on the special teams for fucking like if you do not let that punt get blocked for a touchdown, I believe the Packers defense does not let Jimmy G or anyone score a touchdown. Yeah, you might get a field goal, but no one's scoring touchdowns. Like they were playing great defense. Aaron Rodgers got sacked 4 or 5 times, and Jimmy G got sacked 4 times. So like they both played great defense, but man, like the special teams was the Achilles heel. But out of the MVP, it's 10-10 with 4 minutes left. And you go 3 and out to give the 49ers ball with 3 minutes left like that. That wasn't Aaron Rodgers like to me personally. That wasn't the Aaron I know and love. And like some people have I haven't watched all of them, but there has been people on Twitter, Twitter investigators, they find the clips and they post them. There's numerous of throws from Aaron Rodgers where like, unlike him, he just didn't pass to the open man. Like he was passing to more covered guys and stuff. And I don't know what was going on. But he even said to himself, like when he lost to the 49ers 2 years ago, like, oh, when y'all come to Lambeau, it's going to be a whole different game. You're lucky. Like, he didn't say you're lucky to be in Cali, but he was just like, it's a different game when you come to Lambeau. They're here in Cali, blah, blah, blah. So, like, now you've, like, kind of have to eat your words because here, fast forward 2 years later, and, like, you lost here. And, like, it's one of those things where, like, you didn't play the worst game of your career, but I think the Packers as a team played their worst game since week 1. Week 1, they shitted the bed. They only lost 3 games. The week 1, they shitted the bed to the Saints. They lost to the Chiefs with Jordan Love. And then they lost the last game where Aaron Rodgers only played a quarter and a half or 2 quarters. So, like, they've been playing phenomenal football. Just to come here and Aaron Rodgers to only not really run the way that they've been running on offense. And then the special teams definitely made them lose. If I don't think you're beating any of these teams if the way y'all play today, and the special teams definitely, if y'all like, that was the Achilles heel that just put the cherry on top.
That's facts. I think you broke it down amazingly, and it just comes back down to the fact that like the week 1 team was the Packers. Like I just kept screaming that like, man, I don't know who the fuck them boys were. This wasn't Green Bay, and like it was cold out. The weather definitely played a factor on both sides for offense. And it just showed that, like, when it comes down to it, like, the Packers, you can find all the clips. There's hella clips of Aaron Rodgers going to, like, Devontae Adams where somebody down low was open. Like, when they went for the 3rd down before they, after they gave up the punt block, he threw it up to Devontae Adams and you could have tried to check. And like we said, you got Lazard and stuff like that. You can do what you can do, but like at the end of the day, like the defense did exactly what they schemed up to do. Like they say in practice, it's not supposed to go like it does in practice. They said they practiced all week. Yo, we're gonna stop the fucking run. After AJ Dillon scored that touchdown, I think he got injured too.
Yeah,
but they stopped the fucking run. Like they held that fucking run in check. And it wasn't as if like they killed Aaron Jones. He wasn't doing nothing. It was just like, yo, we're not letting you get no first. Like no first from you. Like if y'all want to get a first, y'all got to do it in the air in this fucking code. Since this is all y'all fucking know. So the defense was there. I think Kyle Shanahan is a genius. I've been saying this for a minute. And it's funny because like, remember during the season, people were bringing up his record. Like, oh, maybe he's not the truth, blah, blah, blah. Y'all got real quiet, and like y'all got real quiet. I think this game was just more or less about just like you played the weaknesses. Like one team played another team's weaknesses, and like the defense played phenomenal. Shout out to Darius Smith, played a phenomenal game first day back. Like I was bad that he only got one game back, but like they played a great game. Debo Samuel, he came out and he got his nickname from Friday, Debo.
Oh no, I didn't. But that's the only Debo I've ever met in my life or known in my life.
Yeah, I gotta watch the story, but I seen no interview with him next to Debo. I put it in my watch later. It's him next to Debo, and they're talking about how he got his nickname and shit. But shout out to the 49ers, like they just kept it and they said, yo, like the game's not over. That's another team that stays calm and collected. Like Jimmy G can help. They say that the 49ers are 3-0 when Jimmy G throws no touchdowns.
They have a better record when he throws. There's a crazy stat where it's like the less touchdowns he throws, the better the record the 49ers have.
Yeah, like you don't need him throwing the ball. So like shout out them boys, and they got a great matchup next week, and that's the matchup they wanted because they know what to do with that. So like
undefeated.
49ers are playing well. I just think it's like crazy, like how they're killing Aaron Rodgers online. But like I'm not a big social media basher, let the boys speak, but it's like y'all really were waiting, like y'all. Because if you won an MVP, in the Super Bowl, everybody would have been there. Aaron Rodgers, biggest fuck you ever, or people gonna. Or they're gonna hate. Like I can't believe the NFL let the Super Bowl. But they were waiting. They was waiting for Aaron Rodgers' last game to start talking that shit. That's exactly what they got.
That's the media for you.
That's exactly what they got to do. Like they were waiting. They had this shit like built in. Like now that's public enemy number one in the NFL. Like Tom Brady's a great guy. Like that's public enemy number one to them boys. And like whatever his decisions do in the future and stuff like that, it's gonna be interesting. But like damn. And like it's kind of interesting to think like both the number one seeds lost. So it's like y'all won all those games in the regular season. Y'all did what y'all had to do, but at the end of the day, like that shit ain't mean shit.
Yeah, like I said, like that doesn't happen often. It's only the fifth time since they've expanded to 32 teams and 8 divisions. So like the Packers, they were really great. I don't want to say I called it or nothing. I didn't put the bad voodoo in the air when I was asking those questions to you. I was just out of the question because I've kept seeing it almost everywhere else. It's like everyone was saying like this is not a team you want to see in the playoffs. A good run team and a good defense with a good coach. So like that's why I just kept asking you like, oh, would you not worry about like the Packers? Like they were the best team last year and they did all this last year. But
I think the worst thing I seen was them boys said this is the second time Aaron Rodgers fooled us into thinking he got a shot.
that was crucial. They said he's immunized to the Super Bowl, and I was like, damn, bro, they on his head.
Yeah, it's bad because like the conversation was gonna be like you can talk about the future and stuff like that, but the haters are gonna be like, now it's Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, and I can't say nothing. Like everybody I backed this year just did not finish nicely. Like did not just come greatly.
Well, before we head out and break this down, I have one question. And no, it's not about overtime rules. I already know we're on opposite sides of that.
Hopefully we went into that. I was ready for it. Like,
if you want to do it, I would say I didn't want to debate it. I didn't.
Episode.
No, I would say one thing is I do not want to debate it because that's what everyone the other show is doing. One person's debating why. It doesn't matter. We're not in the fucking league commission room. Like, okay, like I'm gonna speak why my opinion is why this, and then you're gonna speak why your opinion is that. But at the end of the day, neither one of us right, neither one of us wrong. Like it's just like that's just how we view it. So I don't want to be like, oh, you're wrong. But my one question,
debate the fuck out that though, like, but not just like debate like this. I hear your side, I'm gonna take my side and just keep it moving because we know we're both gonna be on opposite sides regardless.
Yeah, no, and that's the good thing about it is just like people have opinions, and if we were a show that just spoke one side of it, it wouldn't be as good as. Well, I'm on this side, and this is why, and it makes good content. But my question is, I'm also gonna say like I think you already know my answer because I said it a couple of times if you saw. So I know Jimmy G when he came to the 49ers, he was like a big contract because he came from the Patriots. He only had like 3 games on the Patriots. He balled out, and they got him for like 20 million or 15 to 20 million a year for 3 years, 4 years, and everyone was like, "What the hell?" First year, he don't make the first year he gets injured like week 3 or week 4, out for the year. They don't make the playoffs. The second year he plays the full season. 2019, they go to the playoffs. They go to the Super Bowl run. They lose. And I'm not saying it's because of him, but he was in there and they did it. The defense and running game was balling. I don't know if they made the playoffs last year for sure or not. I don't know what their record was. But then this year, they're in the spot they're at now. You know how hard it is. Like we talked about before, like not only to win a Super Bowl, but it's like it's hard as fuck to make a Super Bowl. Like not a lot of great quarterbacks can even say I made a Super Bowl. Like Dan Marino only made one, and like even then he ain't win that motherfucker. Like so, like it's hard as fuck to make it.
Aaron Rodgers only made one.
Yeah, like it's not this like, oh yeah, I'm the best player in the league and I'm gonna win it. Like no, that's not the case. But he was worth a lot of money. He might not be the best player at quarterback. He might not even be top 10 or top 13, top 15, wherever you want to rank him among those. I do think he's probably in between 15 to 20 around there, for sure. But is he worth all that money? Like he has a 0.71% win percentage. They won all. They might make 2 Super Bowls with him. The 1 year that they didn't have him, I know they didn't make the playoffs. They went like 3-14 or 3-13. They did draft Joey Bosa because of that. That's the reason why they were able to get him. But is he worth the like I'm on Team Garoppolo because how hard it is to make the Super Bowl, let alone to win 70% of the games you played in. Like I don't think a Trey Lance at the helm, they make the playoffs this year, let alone make a deep run. He's not the reason why they're winning games, but like he'll take the fault when they lose the games. He'll never get the credit for when they win the games. But like he'll be that nice medium that they need to be able to do everything else they do.
I respect it. I believe I respected him getting paid off rip because that's what he did. Like he balled out in all 3 of those games, and the Patriots had to get rid of him because they would have started him next year. So
Belichick wanted to though. That was the
Patriots would have started him. Like they would have started the fuck out of him. And I think there's a way to. If you were to pay him another 2 years to keep him as a starter, there's a way to play around that. You got Trey Lance playing behind him. But like you need to get a quarterback to learn the game. This could be a real Carson Palmer, Patrick Mahomes situation, not with Trey Lance though. But like,
you mean Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes?
Alex, yeah, I appreciate you, man. Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes situation. Like Alex Smith wasn't the greatest, but like he was a winner. But he was better than Jimmy G. But like he was a winner at the end of the day. By the time he got to the Chiefs, so like this is they just need to find a prototypical quarterback for the future and just continue to keep playing great defense and run the damn ball. Like the most physical team is winning right now. Are winning right now. Like you can get the most physical, you can get the most dirty. Y'all gonna get the dubs, the high five. You just gotta figure out how to slow down them high flyers. And like that shit is tough because them boys be flying high. So I don't know about if I would pay him that much like next year, but like I would look at his contract and I would resign him. I would try to get him back because like one thing about it is they always say like if you're gonna fire somebody, you better have somebody better to take his spot. And like
that's true.
Trey Lance is cool, but like what's wrong with just continuing to do what you're doing? Like this shit's about to get you to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you. That's my big take on it too. Is like it's working. Why? Unless you can get like an actual significant better player, don't go away from it. just keep doing what you're doing. Don't unless you can get Aaron Rodgers to come in the off season, don't go away from Jimmy G.
And Kyle Shanahan has the eye for fuck. Oh, first off, it was a toxic week. It was a toxic ass week for Falcons fans because Julio Jones got bust, and then Kyle Shanahan was preying on his downfall the whole game. So like it was a toxic week for all. It was toxic. I'm not gonna lie. We was real toxic on Twitter. I ain't gonna lie. I was watching. I ain't joining in, but next time I'm gonna join in.
Me personally, this was like a touting week for me because dealing with Bucs fans, I've had multiple chats and multiple arguments where I'm not even trying to stir it. I'm stirring it now because like, hey, like it's time to reap what you sowed. Like multiple Buck fans telling me the Rams are just a first round bounce. They're faking it. Matthew Stafford's not that guy. Von Miller Von Miller was washed, even though I told him he didn't play a whole year. The year before and every year before that, he was all Pro Bowl. But yeah, okay, he's washed. You're right. Odell Beckham is washed. He's not talented. Okay, you're right. But yet, if you're watching the game, he had like 5-6 catches. Yeah, they weren't like he had one nice like 15-yard catch, 20-yard catch that he run after catch. But like he was making those nice positional like one-on-one with the corner. Give me the first down. Like give me the nice curl route. Give me like all those things were like he was cooking it. Von Miller made Tom Brady get the get the taunting call. Like hey bro, he's washed there. Like he has the most QB pressures in the postseason. Like hey bro, like this is my week to tout because like I love being right, and I love this like because sometimes Bucs fans, it's one thing to have an opinion, but it's another thing to be like, no, I'm right, you're wrong. So then when that moment comes up where I'm like, actually, you are wrong. I'm right. You had it backwards the whole time, buddy. But break it down for him, Kev, because this has been totally blitzed.
Hey man, that shit's funny, man. Hey, shout out Bucs fans, man. Y'all boys been gone fishing.
Welcome to the couch.
It's okay, man. My seat's a little deeper than yours. My ass print's a little deeper than yours. But like, hey man, the couch isn't bad, man. It's some good football to watch. There's some good football on to watch these games. No strings. It's kind of no strings attached a little bit. Shit's good, man. Couch is fun. But hey man, this has been another episode of the Totally Blitz podcast. You bitch. If you didn't know. Now you know, you bitch. But we thankful for anybody that's watched this shit. Anybody that's watching football, I know you thankful for football. I fucking love football. Like that's what this week reminded me. Like that's what happens. Like this shit is just the greatest thing. And the NFL is the best league out there, even though it's slavery on the low. But that's a whole nother conversation. But it's been totally blitz, man. And we fucking with you the long way. If you watched the whole episode, man, that boy Paul dripped out in the Dolphins gear. I know you see him, man. But that's been Paul Picking Winter Concert. This is your boy Kev Waterboy Savoy. And this has been totally blitz. Your
problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools. You can call them boy crap, man. This gang got rules, man. You better watch your passes. This ain't not.